Hi everyone, welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. It's a little late. Um, I tried to get here earlier. It's just been a crazy day, guys. But thank you for showing up and being here. Some music, some flowers, um, just relaxation. So I hope you guys had a great week and everything is going well and that these messages are helping you. So, guys, we're gonna do talk about something a little different tonight. It's about healing and grief and anxiety, but I want to talk about some extra ways that you guys can overcome these things instead of staying stuck in them, especially when it starts to feel like those walls are closing in. So, please keep taking care of yourself. And don't let anyone make you feel bad about taking care of you because that's something you're supposed to do. When you love you and you put yourself first, um, then everything else falls into place the way it should because you start to look at life and situations from a different perspective. You start to self care. And as you self care, you do better. So, with that being said, guys, I'm not a counselor or social worker or therapist, just someone who talks about how I became an overcomer, of all these things that I've been dealing with. Um, so, one of the things I want to talk about, because I always talk about prayer, which is number one on my list, and persevering, the key factors of persevering, never giving up to keep going. Tonight, I want to talk about the title Grief and Anxiety. Because when I was going through the grief, moments of loss, and everything that I spoke about in prior videos, um, I started, especially after my mom and my dog passed away, and a good friend of mine, um, I started to have those trigger moments of grief that comes out of nowhere. And I never had that before, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And it would leave me balled up, um, curled up in a corner somewhere. That's how bad it was. And I'm talking about it because this might help someone. I went through that for over a year until I started to research that that really does exist and ways to get through it. So I'm going to share that with you guys because some of these things can lead to deep depression, trauma, anxiety, grief, if we allow ourselves to stay stuck in it. So one of the things that helped me too, like I said, I did touch on it on one of the prior videos, that when it got so bad and we were shut down, in a shutdown, we couldn't go anywhere but to the supermarket, that's when I wrote my third book. I had music, candles, I had a glass of wine back then, and I just started writing, and that was therapeutic to me because it helped me with the pain that I was dealing with, especially those grief-stricken moments, because they come out of nowhere. And when I would be out in a supermarket or any other place, I would just see something that reminded me of my mother or a friend or a dog, I would just leave the groceries, everything there, and walk out the store. So, and it was happening more and more and more often. And so I started researching and finding ways to deal with that. And some of the ways to deal with anxiety, especially due to loss and grief, etc., is besides music, is puzzles, putting together puzzles pieces. You know how I use the metaphor of puzzles? Well, I would take the time to put pieces of puzzles together, and sometimes it would be big puzzles. Remember, we had a lot of time on our hands back there, and it was therapeutic. It really helped a lot during that time. And then, you guys see me drinking tea. This is not ordinary tea. This is, I drink a lot of different types of tea, like green tea, but before I go to bed at night, I drink chamomile tea because it helps. And I started drinking it back then when I started having those anxieties and moments like that. chamomile tea is really, really soothing because it helps calm you and keep you calm. Like tonight, I'm really tired because it's not too long. I just got in, and it's just been a stressful day. So I'm drinking chamomile tea, and it helps to keep me calm. And guys, get things that help you, and this is what I mean by self care. Teas that keep you calm. There's different types of teas and things like that. I'm going to be looking for some stuff for allergies as well. Aromatherapy diffusers will help. And in the future, I'm going to be sharing more and more of these things with you guys and where to get them. You know, starting next week, I'm probably going to do more of that because these things will help keep you mentally and physically, together. Because we all, been going through something. And we have to self care, which is important. And I find these things to be very helpful, especially, like I said, the music and guys, things that just keep you going. And we're going to talk about more things, but like puzzles and things because it stimulates your mind and it keeps you busy and it keeps you, focused. And then it helps with the anxiety. Besides therapy, I would suggest therapy number one. But these are some of the things that help me, you know, to, to keep going. And especially when you don't have a support system besides therapy, some of you do, maybe some of you don't. These are the things that help me. And then I bought a little organ, to learn to play the piano, piano for beginners, and a book. And I was just teaching myself music that way and really enjoying doing these things because I love music so much. And like I said, I wrote my third book, and I was shocked that I was able to complete it, during a shutdown. Just kept writing and writing and writing. Many times I would be up to like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning writing, and then sleep a couple of hours, get up and write again because that's how deep rooted the pain was, and it hurt a lot, and it was just, really not a good time in my life. And so what I did is just turn that pain into power, power into purpose to move it forward, like I always talk about in these videos. And it's so important because these things will help you. So probably starting more or less next week, I'm going to be talking a lot about these things because these things help me to overcome instead of succumbing to the grief and anxiety, because that can turn into depression. And you could stay stuck there, and it can have a chokehold on you, and it makes you feel like, because that kind of what anxiety I had, it was like grief from grief. It just made me feel stuck, like I wasn't myself, and I had to overcome that because, like I said, that went on for a year, and it was just, I didn't want to be around anything or anybody, and it was just a really hard time. So if any one of you are dealing with any of these things that I'm talking about, some of these things will help. And there are these things, I have to look them up again, that people who, have anxiety, they squeeze these things. I'm not sure. I'm going to look it up so that we can talk more about it. And these things help. And this is why I always talk to you guys, keep your environment pure, meaning minimize the toxicity, because there's a lot of that going on right now, and that will really affect your mental and physical health. Make sure you're getting enough rest, because that's something I struggle with. As you see, I'm really tired tonight, and I have to go to bed soon and then get up really early and do it again. So I'm trying to time management, but today was a day where I was stuck in a lot of traffic, so it was beyond my control. But for the most part, I try to get rest and take care of myself. So guys, one day at a time, one step at a time. Remember, you are important, and there's only one you. And you should make yourself a priority every day. Even if you're taking an hour or two out a day, do so. and take care of yourself. And let me know in the comment categories how these messages are helping you, if they're helping you. And please continue to show up here. Um, I will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. I'm hoping earlier. And then we can talk more about grief, anxiety, and ways to how I overcame them. You know, you never get over, the grief of loss, but you can get through it, and instead of succumbing to it. That's the message today, guys. I am going to go get some sleep and get some rest, take care of me, and you guys go take care of yourself, and I'll see you back here sometime tomorrow. This is Lisa shedding love and light. Have a good night, guys, and I'll see you sometime tomorrow. Bye for now.